The parent is the middle or the largest door to Jannah. Al-walidu awsatu abwab al-Jannah. This means the easiest way to enter Jannah is to give khidmah to the parents. The easiest way to enter Jannah is to help one's parents. And our Prophet ﷺ said, رضا الرب رضا الوالد وسخط الرب سخط الوالد. That the pleasure of Allah is found in the pleasure of the parents, and the displeasure of Allah is found in the displeasure of the parents. So whoever wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with him should please his parents. Whoever wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with him should be pleasing to his parents. And whoever is worried about the punishment of Allah should be worried about the anger of his parents. In that famous hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmad and also in the Sunan of Abi Dawood, where a Sahabi came from Yemen and he said, Ya Rasulullah, ji'tuka min Yemen. O Messenger of Allah, I have come to you from Yemen so that I can give you bay'ah, I can become a Sahabi, I can do jihad behind you. And I have left my parents, وَهُمْ يَبْكِيَانِ, and they're crying because they want me. I left up my parents and I came to you. And our Prophet ﷺ said, if you want the pleasure of Allah, فَارْجِعْ إِلَيْهِمَا, go back to them, وَأَضْحِكْهُمَا, and go make them laugh as you have made them cry. Go make them laugh as you have made them cry. This is what our Prophet ﷺ said. You think you want Jannah, you've come to me and you've left your parents crying? How can you get Jannah in this manner? He came to be a Sahabi. He came to do jihad behind the Messenger of Allah, but he left his parents crying. And the Prophet ﷺ said, you think you will enter Jannah in this manner? Irji' ilayhima, go back to them. Go back to them and make them go back to them and make them laugh as you have made them cry. This is the way to enter Jannah, is to please the parents. Go back to them and make them laugh as you have made them cry. Our Prophet ﷺ was the one who told us that the easiest way to get to Jannah was by pleasing the parents. The son of Abdullah ibn Zubayr, the famous Sahabi, when his father passed away, he said, I am not crying because my father has died, or just because my father has died. I am crying because my easiest door to Jannah has been shut from me. This is why Abdullah ibn Zubayr's son was crying when his father had died. I'm not crying just because he's died. I'm crying because my easiest door to Jannah has now been shut from me. We do not know how long we have with our parents. For those of you whose parents are alive, do whatever you can to please them and make them happy. For those whose parents have moved on, there is much that can still be done. A man came to the Prophet and said, O Messenger of Allah, my mother has died. What can I do to help my mother now that she is dead? Is there anything I can do? The Prophet ﷺ said, Ajal, yes, there's much that you can do. Make dua for her, seek istighfar for her, give sadaqah on her behalf, make udhiyah, go for hajj and umrah, visit her relatives and friends that you would not otherwise visit. So these are things that can be done once your parents have moved on from this world. Sadaqah, zakah, hajj, umrah, being in touch with their family and friends, which is something that most of us don't think about. There are friends and relatives you don't think about, but they would contact them. They would go to their houses. If they've moved on, it's your job now to be in touch with those families, to go and establish relations with them just for the sake of your parents. And one final point of advice, my young brothers and sisters, those of you who are still, mashallah, tabarakallah, young and healthy, teenagers and in college, realize that as you grow older, your greatest regret will always be the bad memories that you have left with your mother and father. You will never be able to take back a harsh word. You will never be able to take back a bad memory. Anytime you caused your mother or father distress, it will cause you much grief as long as you live. It is easy to get angry as a young man or woman, but the regrets and the memories that remain will be painful for you. So my dear brothers and sisters, remember what Allah has told you in the Quran. Don't say uff to them, don't speak harshly to them, and keep on being kind and generous. وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. You want to earn the pleasure of Allah, you have in front of you two doors, your mother and your father. Please them and you will enter Jannah insha'Allah ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.